Good morning. Today I'd like to speak about assets and liabilities and things that other people will very rarely mention. Let's just get straight to the point. Gentlemen, ladies, I've been hearing so much about couples being together and one being on board trying to prep and the other one is still trying to stay in la la land. So gentlemen, if you're having that issue with your lady, wife, significant other, or have daughters, here are a few suggestions. The monthly is very costly with sanitary napkins and tampons. And we don't know how long we would be without supplies. So there is a device that you could order online called a moon cup. And it's shaped like this. And it has a little stem on it. There are only two sizes. One that's recommended for women that have not given birth and women that have. I don't recommend this device for a young girl who has not been sexually active. Personally, I think they need to make a third size, an extra small. This stem will be long and it could be clipped to the proper length for comfort. It'll be easy to wash and maintain, and it is made from surgical grade silicone. Now, you might get some backlash from that. She's like, no way am I going to do that. And if you run out of sanitary napkins, there's only one option left. Hence the name rag. And I love having lots of these cheap white washcloths around. And I'm going to do another video on multitaskers. Things that have so many purposes and they're always good to have regardless of the situation. So it's a triple folds and washes easily. Ivory soap, when it needs to be cleaned off, removes the best for the blood stains as far as I could tell. This is practical information. It's not, in theory, I'm an extreme prepper. I like to try out everything beforehand and incorporate it into my lifestyle. So I know for sure, and one becomes comfortable with it, and then if the shit hits the fan big time, it's no big deal. Plus, if you don't have that problem, then it's a wash rag, and then I like to keep them when they're nice and clean for my bath wash rag, and then when it's starting to get frayed, then it goes to the kitchen wash rag, of course after a good sanitary wash. And then when it gets too nasty looking for the kitchen wash rag, then it goes into my rag bin, and it could be shredded to tie up tomatoes or to clean up a nasty mess that you don't want to have to rinse the rag. And I use these for paint rags. You could polish shoes with them or put them in your gun kit. So the next thing on my list is digestive problems, constipation. You may be switching to a diet, and your diet may be erratic, and many times it takes the body a couple weeks to adjust to this, and in the meantime you may have some other issues. I suggest, like many preppers, you are already there. You're already using your food stock as your everyday kind of diet, but just in case it flares up, have a little bottle of the dry powdered fiber on hand. And Epsom salts goes into the multitasker category. It's good as a plant fertilizer. It's good for constipation. So I hear it's an old, household kind of remedy. And it's also good for soaking in a bath for aches and pains and recovery. And if you have inflammation from a hemorrhoid flare-up, the salt baths are really great for that. And ice. Now, it's kind of hard to get a square ice cube into that space, so another multitasker is a condom, and I like to call them buttsicles. Fill them up with water, tie them in the knot, pop it in the freezer. A couple hours later, it fits in there pretty nicely. So we'll take a step backwards and we'll go into controlling inflammation. So many people, when they get a naked pain, they want to apply a heating pad. And when an injury first occurs, whether it's an ankle or your elbows are sore, whatever your inflammation, at one time I had back issues, the best thing to do is immediately put ice straight on. No towel in between. Put the ice in a Ziploc bag, apply it to the area, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, and do this, and it'll break the spasm. And at that time you should be able to stretch, which is something else one needs to get accustomed to when caring for the body on their own without the care of doctors and chiropractors and massage therapists, is learning how to massage each other, your partners, your family members, and stretching, hatha yoga, or just flat out the old athletic stretches that we were all taught in phys ed way back in the day. Which brings me to the other topic of reflexology and massage. And most everybody knows these days that the human being, especially the babies and the young ones, thrive when they are touched in a tender, gentle way. And we are in for extremely challenging times, and there are going to be there's going to be some downtime, where you're not running around taking care of chores and everything that needs to be taken care of, and learn how to nurture one another and to fix each other's sore spots. The one that I know offhand is a headache, and there's a point right here on the palm of your hand, and when you're experiencing a tension, stress, headache, you could press on that and relieve the pressure. And I only get a mild headache about once a year, and that works for me. But there are great books out there on reflexology, and the feet are a really, really good place to, as in Chinese medicine and this study, that it correlates to other parts of the body. And I know this from doing massage, that you could also experience deferred pain. And when you're doing massage and you hit one of those knots, you'll get a pain shooting in a totally different area. So that's my recommendation, to become intimately familiar with your own body. And another rewind back to the uncomfortable topic of constipation is my silver bullet. I had been on stool softeners for too long after my C-section, and so I was experiencing some difficulties, and no matter how much dietary fiber and the little fiber drinks, it wasn't happening. And I found that if it's my last meal, well, snack, it is bulk, raw carrots especially, that the next day everything's in running order. I'm going to be back with many videos that I'm going to try to stay on topic and be concise and pertinent to the title of the video. I'm feeling like crunch time and trying to get out as much information in such a short time. So I'm going to be doing a video on germinating and my experience with doing transplants. I'm also going to be doing a video on trash to treasure, because I really feel like this is going to be like a little niche that certain people are going to be able to fill, and it's going to serve them, their family, and their community very well. And this is the ability to look at trash and see it in a totally different way, and multi-purpose, multitasking, that, you know, I have this object, but if I turn it this way, I could use it for this, but oh, if I go this way and add it to that. And I have some little just practice with different objects, and I'll explain to you, you know, going through Goodwill, how I see things through my imaginative eyes. And then I'm going to do another one on theory versus practice. And I've heard some other preppers talk about this. You know, it's not good enough to have the camping gear and do this and that. I know adults that have never lit a fire, and some people have difficulty doing things. The other thing is stitching yourself. Do you really know for sure that you can do it? I do. And last but not least on my to-do list right now are my favorite multitaskers, and that one is especially interesting. Okay, have a good day. Peace be with you, and keep working diligently. Ciao.